already losing to them 2 times. They tried, but it ended up going a very similar way.
Rumble hoops.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I think one of those was in the wheeling deals. So, but yeah, no, if you lose to a team in Rumble hoops, what chance have you got?
What chance have you got in regular Rocket League? You can't even win them, beat them in Rumble hoops. But yeah, no, they did give it a good go. I think GarrettG and Justin were kind of throwing some shade at Omelette on Twitter, saying that they didn't try in the grand final and how disappointed they were. What they were referring to is that after going down 2-1 in the series, it was best of 7, Omelette brought out the Mercs. They came into game number 4 driving. I think Luke and Freshness were both playing the Merc. Lionblaze stayed the Octane. That's, apparently in Justin and Garrett's opinion, throwing the game or, giving up. I disagree. I think it was a pretty good mind game, and it really did throw NRG for a loop. They looked not only competitive, but they might have even had the advantage all of a sudden, thanks to the fact that NRG were so tilted by the fact that their opponents brought the Mercs to the table. I would love to see that later on in this series. I believe that card changes, there are definitely allowed card changes between games here. So yeah, that's something to look out for Omelette. They know that NRG get tilted if they play the Merc, so if you're losing 2-0, has to be done.
Johnny Boy, the RLCS analyst, where the Merc and the Scarab is more viable than the Dominus.
100%. Dominus is a meme car in every situation. We know this.
Apparently we do, and apparently NRG are going to put forward a couple of good testers of the Omelette defense. Back to the midfield, Squishy levers it, and after the last series, Johnny, I think it's quite nice to see some powerful shots to start us off.
Yeah, that's what we expect from NRG. If they can do anything right, it's moving quickly and hitting the ball hard, but they've got to play a tidy game as well, because Omelette are clearly having a pretty good day so far. And despite not peaking as high as they did during Summer Shuffle in the off-season, I still really rate this team, and I think they've one edge they might have over NRG is the comms and the vibes. I don't know, NRG are putting a lot of pressure on themselves these days, and obviously they've got a ton of pressure on themselves, being all former world champions and being such a popular team, and being the favorites in almost every matchup that they play. But I don't know if they've dealt with that too well recently. They just end up underperforming, and it looks like their heads are just not in the game, and they're just not having a good time with it. But so far so good. This is a clean rotation and some solid contact on the ball every time that they're going for it. It's a bit of an uninspirational air dribble there by Squishy, but before that, everything looked pretty good for NRG.
It's very weird for all of the players as well on NRG, as Garrett will try and hook around. But even when NRG as an org weren't at the top for long periods of time, it was Cloud9 that took that mantle for 3 months or so, which had Squishy on it.
Yeah.
Now we're at a situation where all 3 of the members aren't considered a player on the top team right now. Space Station Gaming very much taking that. G2 have got a couple of shouts towards it with recent big performances in both last season's regionals and with how they've looked so far this season, and a couple of losses as well to Team Envy. So this is the most contested they've been in the longest time, as Justin will barrel forward and give the team the first goal.
So NRG so far are just going to continue to pepper the backboard as much as possible. I think Freshness went to the kitchen to get a cup of tea or something on that play. What on earth was he thinking, not flipping at that ball? But it's an immediate punish for NRG. They do indeed front flip into the ball, or Justin does. Oh, nice comeback. Now Luke with a solo play onto Squishy, and he dominates him. 1-1.
Ah, I see. They wanted to score off the kickoff. Bit of a weird way of getting to their chance, but it works, I guess.
I think, well, really the defensive plays coming out of both teams here, just really not what you want to see. First, Freshness hiding behind the ball when he's got somebody shooting it at him point blank range. Now Squishy with a fake challenge in no man's land. Now Justin might make up for it here. Never mind. Great save by Freshness. But it's all been good apart from those 2 blunders defensively, 1 from each team. So they're even in that regard. Well, they're not even in his offensive pressure. NRG are clearly the faster team. They're definitely the team with the advantage mechanically, but it hasn't given them an advantage on the scoreline up until now.
Justin can't get the ball away from Lionblaze. He's a player that today will get almost an exact idea as to how good his roster move was during the off-season, as 72 PC also battling in this bracket. Luke can't quite get any further as he did go charging down for Garrett.
Oh!
Great stick and touch from Squishy. 1-2,
wow.
Quick as you like. You can't transition much quicker than that.
Oh, that's beautiful. Squishy just reading exactly where Garrett was planning to hit that ball so he can pop it onwards. And the acceleration that those 2 touches gave to the ball were just completely, it was a total surprise to Omelette, who did have a man back, but not that far back, 125 kilometers an hour from way away from the goal. Brilliant team play. Just honestly a great read by Squishy to get in that position, because I doubt that was communicated too far ahead of time. No chance for Omelette. They've hit the post twice. You know, they're fighting back well. Both times that they've been scored on, Omelette have brought the pressure right back to the NRG half, but that whiff from Lion Blaze is not what you want to see.
Freshness back down to Luke. It's a good first touch. Squishy able to cover it. I don't think the second one was on target, however. Freshness looks to drop it off to Luke. Didn't know too much about it. He also knows very little about having any boost right now, as he will finally collect some on his rotation back. So 13 seconds. Maybe one final opportunity at this. Freshness to Lion Blaze. He's almost got Justin, but Justin avoids the demo, gets the ball.
Yeah, it looks like the Mercs are one step closer, Shogun. I don't know if they're scoring this. Oh, they might, but Garrett's actually in a very good position there. He had the entire goal covered pretty much. Regardless of where the ball falls, he'll be able to get goal side of it and put a solid flip into it. Overall, I like what I'm seeing from NRG. That was a fast-paced series. That was a fast-paced game, sorry, a confident game from them. And Omelette, although they're a dangerous opponent, they're not able to hang with NRG when they play at this pace.
Yeah, certainly not. NRG looking very clean here, as we do get a chance to take a look at some of the replays. It was a lot of offensive pressure that wasn't going anywhere for the longest time.
Oh my goodness, this big challenge though by Squishy. He's just like, aha, you thought I was challenging? I'm actually just going to drive right up to you and then turn around and get scored on. You got me. Nice, brilliant mind. What a mind game. Luckily, he had a great response for that kind of pull away from it. Well, I think would have been a good angle to challenge from, because that knock on in the midfield on Garrett's clear was just beautiful. Brilliant timing, even better read on the game and what was happening around him.
Just adds extra power, isn't it? Very much the additional boost button in the midfield, as they are going to move him for a shot. And if Freshness is going to score in the future, he's got to try and find top corners off positions like that. Freshness waits. Squishy drops it down, and was the right decision to wait. The fake challenge is get Squishy to move a bit earlier than they would have wanted to. Backboard. Justin tries to read it, and he will get there.
Uh-oh.
2 players forward. It's 4 players committing, and it has actually worked out. Boom!
What?
Shot from Lion Blaze, and you cannot keep that out.
Did somebody turn off the team colors? We've got Luke tackling Freshness, now Garrett passing to Lion Blaze. And you can't really blame Squishy for that one. There's really too much of the goal to cover with very little time to react to what's happening around him. Let's see if the teams or the players remember who their teammates are beyond the first 30 seconds of this game. You could, if you turned off the nameplates and disabled team colors, you would not know based on what we just saw.
I think that's just Garrett getting his own back after the Squishy kickoff in the last game. Now Squishy will be the last one back. That was a very awkward position, and it has left openings. Lion Blaze tries to find an area where Squishy can't get to. That would be from behind him. Will Lion Blaze go for the infield? He does. Nobody around to help out, as Justin looks to dance around the ball. Will not have the boost to go for a second block. That is just how mechanically amazing Justin is, where we just add extra words onto each of these mechanics and say, yeah, well, Justin's doing that.
Yeah, Justin does some pretty incredible things with the Rocket League ball. Now Squishy's double touch, too tight of an angle for him to work with. Justin's going to try and show him how it's done. But nice backboard defense from Omelette. Very good touch, actually, as the ball hugs the back wall now. But Squishy's got a good challenge and an outplay. Finds Justin waiting at the far post. It's constant NRG pressure. Omelette will need a strong challenge. They'll need a good 50-50 somewhere if they're going to get out of their half. But actually, Squishy will give the ball away to Freshness just briefly, who's giving it right back. It's difficult to get the ball to go towards a teammate at times. It's easy to spot, oh yeah, there's a giveaway of possession, but what's harder to realize is just how little time these players have to decide what to do with the ball, especially when you're playing against NRG, who give you, split seconds at the most.
And NRG also have that second part of it where you got to figure out, is this worth it? Because they are so good at reading where your passing plays are going to go. They can intercept it and use your own pass against you. Freshness and Luke both coming together in the midfield to try and maintain possession of the ball. It is Omelette still with the 1-goal advantage after Garrett swap teams. I think it was a loan for a moment. Transfer season is not quite yet, though. As here is Garrett now in, wants the double tap. You saw how quickly Freshness was to it. They do not want to see that one. Squishy now by himself. Plays it to himself on the backboard. And that will mean that no follow-up shot can happen for Omelette.
NRG definitely taking the scenic route on most of their offensive plays. Oh, that nearly hit Justin midair, but just misses him. You know, there's been extended periods of play where NRG are setting up at the edge of the Omelette box. They're in the Omelette half for seconds, it's up on seconds at a time. Even like, you know, 30, 45 seconds as the ball is stuck in this orange end. But there's no shots this entire time. NRG are hardly putting any shots on target. And it looks great, you know, when you're outplaying your opponents, you're beating them to every ball, you're hitting the ball around the other half. But at some point, you've got to hit a shot on target or it's all pointless. And that's another maybe 20 or 25 second play there where NRG have had the ball the whole time and they have put exactly no shots on target. So clearly lacking in direction at times, perhaps. They've got to find a map to the orange goal. Let's see if they're going to find it. Garrett will. And there's nobody defending that rebound. They do eventually find where the goal is. But yeah, it's not been easy for them. The volume could be better coming out of NRG.
Yeah, and I think Luke will watch that one back and say he could have done a lot better. He went straight down the middle on the rotation. Yeah. Decided to have an argument with the post, do a 3-point turn, and then see the ball go flying past him.
Yeah, you never want to have an argument with the post in Rocket League. Especially not if it comes to blows, you're gonna lose.
No, it is very stubborn.
That would be a great patch for the future if you could actually demo your own car by driving fast enough into a wall. It would really separate the skilled landing, or the players with skilled recoveries from those who don't. Make it happen, Onyx. Self-demos, it needs to be a thing.
We need to compile all the caster notes across the year and just see what game that would end up looking like.
I don't know if any caster duo have more bad ideas for Rocket League patches and changes than we do.
I disagree entirely. They have the bad ideas. Our ideas are phenomenal, and we should be on the testing and development team.
We should be the testing and development team, is what you're saying.
Yes, absolutely. Justin already up. He has got Garrett to come for him, but again, the scenic route. He had the chance to drop that straight over to Garrett and decided to go for the outplay. I feel like NRG just almost disrespecting their opponents a little bit too much in case of what they're capable of reading and what capable of reacting to, as Garrett is going to keep following. But every single attack from NRG has started with, well, trying to air dribble and see if they can get any further than that.
I feel like NRG are just obsessed with outplaying their opponents. They don't want to let Omelette touch the ball. That's their thing. They're just trying to take 100% of the possession for themselves and maybe eventually put a shot on target if it happens to, you know, set itself up, I guess. Because how long have they been in offense this game? And we've hardly got any shots. Well, 6 shots in them. That's a very below average amount, actually, for a team with this much pressure in Rocket League. At some point, they've just got to get down and dirty, make it messy. Where are the demos? Where are the bumps? Where are the 50-50s? Because although they've got the clean plays pretty figured out, they've got the speed, they've got the outplays, they've got the accuracy, they don't have, I think, the variety in their shots to really put the pressure on Omelette.
Oh, here comes Justin. Can't get the ball over the top of Freshness, but you have to agree, Johnny. It looks like almost a training exercise where, say, every single player's got at least 2 touches without anyone on Omelette getting to it. And if they do, well, you got to start again and you're not allowed to shoot. Yeah,
they're playing keep away. It's, like I said, more of a training exercise. It looks like they're trying to just keep the ball to themselves. Oh, that might be open for GarrettG if the bounce is good. It is, and it will. No, it's not gone in. It's off the crossbar.
Not everyone had touched it. You're not allowed to score that. Well played, Garrett. At least adhering to the rules.
You know, at least he got a shot out of that, so it makes their stats look a bit better. But yeah, more of the same for NRG. They just aren't hitting the target. They're not testing the goalkeepers. We don't even know if Omelette are goalkeeping well today, because NRG are hardly shooting at them. In fact, I don't think they are. If they see an Omelette goalkeeper, they're like, we'll come back later. We'll come back later.
Are they determined to get Omelette to just hit the forfeit button? Like, we could have scored on you. We could have scored on you. We could have scored it. Come on, you got to do it eventually.
Sugar, they're trying to win by decision. They're not going for the knockout. They're just going to try and dominate the fight so much.
Never leave anything to Judge Gibbs.
Yeah, you don't want to leave this to the judges, NRG. It's going to be a huge upset. But yeah, that's basically what's happening here. NRG, whenever they see an Omelette goalkeeper, they just take the ball back to their half, dribble around for 30 seconds, and then they come back and check if the Omelette goalkeeper's moved. Oh, he hasn't moved. They're still there. That's because Omelette are a very defensive team. They have the goal covered at pretty much all times. And there's another NRG attack going by, and still no shots on target. Where's the shot, Shogun? Where is it? I don't see it.
Okay, well, how about I hit the upset alert button for you?
Okay.
Because Team Envy have won their match. Sorry, I thought I'd build you up for that one a little bit. As the ball's going to come in, Luke is taken out, and Lion Blaze will flail desperately past the ball. Yes, Team Envy are joining our teams over in that 2-0 side of the bracket. I need like a big button, though, that comes up with a fancy graphic. We will discuss this with DreamHack.
Oh, they're about to... they shot the ball. It might be 2 shots. Wow. 2 for the price of 1. NRG have actually taken a couple of shots on target.
Don't take too many. The inflation will hit.
I think that's the first time I've seen that all day. That was exciting.
3 minutes of overtime gone so far. As Lion Blaze will look to try and keep this one going. Squishy already up. And wants the drop-down pinch shot. Well, it's been a very weird one, I'm going to admit.
I mean, if it works, it works, right? If they get the win here, it works. But
if they don't, there we go. This is banter.
I just want to see them shoot more. As simple as that. I'm looking for the opportunities because we know that NRG are one of those teams who can score from pretty much anywhere. You just launch the ball up in the air somewhere near Justin. Yeah, he can score that. He's got the craziest training packs in the world that no one else can score the goals in. Hey! There we go. Squishy puts it on target. And when you've got the shooting accuracy and power that NRG do, you just have to put the ball on the net. This is why I've been wondering all day, where are the shots? Where are the attempts on target? Because, my goodness, can they hit the ball well? That's another clanger from Squishy. 2-0 to NRG. They've done well. They've done well enough. But it's an interesting playstyle, that's for sure.
Yeah, they've done well enough, which is the reason why we are getting so frustrated with this. Because you look at the way they're playing, you're looking at how much they are dominating the field. That is not a game that has been played in that fashion that should be heading to a 3 or 4 minute overtime. That should have been done and dusted a while ago.
No, yeah, NRG did enough attacking in that one game that they saw more of the opponent's half, and not even half, more of the opponent's final third in that game than most teams do in a whole series. That's how dominant this team can be with their pressure. It's like what I'm seeing right now from NRG is like watching G2 in their prime without the shots, because G2 in their prime, they're putting shots on net and shots off the backboard, just piling on the pressure. They're forcing their opponents to use boost. And I think NRG could maybe learn something from that, because although they're getting the wins here and they're making it look pretty safe while doing it, I mean, were they really in any danger? Maybe a couple of times that game, but not really. I still just want to see them try and surprise Omelette every now and then. Let's see what they bring out in game 3, because, you know, we've only seen 2 games of them today. That's not a large enough sample size to really make a proper analysis of. That's a decent shot by Lion Blaze. Well saved by Justin. NRG keep things clean once again.
Luke's going to try and follow. He's got past one. He's going to try and get past another. Luke, silky smooth through the NRG defense.
Oh, see you later, GarrettG. Get back to the 1v1 ranked playlist, buddy. You're going to need to grind hard if you're going to learn how to defend against dribbles like those. That was just a beautiful, beautiful move by Luke. The fact that he can skip the ball past GarrettG without dodging really shows how perfectly he controlled that ball. Now, there's a shot for Squishy. It's a freebie for GarrettG. He's got Justin to the right. Oh, he's popped it way over him. Justin's going to need a step ladder to reach that one. And NRG say goodbye to another attack with no shot on net.
Garrett will get the tap down, but there is no follow-up for him and the team as Justin will move in. Lion Blaze keeps it out. I think the last 5 touches from NRG have hit the ceiling. Can they get another? Oh, well, there's apparently everyone is getting involved in the party now. As Luke can't quite win the challenge against Garrett. Justin's got a bit of time here. Looks to hook around. He's going to go for his own solo play. Feels like the gauntlet has been thrown down, and Justin very happy to pick it up.
You know, I'd be very interested to do one of these surveys where we asked 100 NRG fans their opinions on this game. Because I'm very honestly curious to know what the hardcore fans think of this type of game from NRG. Does it give them, you know, confidence that this team's going to make a deep run and maybe make another grand final, maybe even win this regional event? Or does it leave a few questions to be answered later on in the tournament when they play against the top tier competition? Because it's a tough one. Can't decide. Oh, that is just beautiful, though. Squishy left nothing up to chance by taking Freshness out of the play, but would it have mattered? How on earth are you going to save this?
Freshness just... I'm sorry. I'll just apologize for you. I'm sorry you were stuck in that 2v1.
That's one of the probably the hardest position to be in. You got Squishy trying to demo you and Justin making a ridiculous solo play on you at the same time. Yeah, good luck. I don't think anybody's saving that one.
Yeah, I don't think there is a correct answer to that position. As Freshness now forced to move the ball back. He's actually handed this straight back over to Garrett, whose passes again a little bit too much, and Justin will still make something of it.
Oh,
Garrett dunks the ball in.
Wow.
2-1 to NRG.
Great read by Garrett. He's got the defense in a panic here. Lionblaze saw Garrett, thought that he was playing for an immediate shot, went for the 50-50, and to his horror, he realized Garrett didn't even jump. He was just waiting for the touch. And NRG are putting together some really difficult to read plays here. These are like incredibly difficult plays to save. It's the mind games. It's the physical play. It's everything else on top of their unbelievable mechanical ability that's made these goals possible.
Lionblaze turns, and Justin clatters straight through it. No more messing around really so far. Game 3, much more back down to basics for NRG. A boomer clear. Garrett is already up. Oh! Monster save. Freshness able to get there in time.
Really sick pre-jump from Freshness. He had to pre-jump blind. He wasn't even sure exactly where GarrettG was coming from, but he just knew that it would highly likely be in that position just because of where the ball was bouncing. And that's kept Omelette alive in the series here. They're just really not able to keep up with NRG, I would say. Every time we see this matchup, NRG are faster, NRG hit the ball more cleanly, and NRG seems to have more boost in every position. And if NRG don't make any mistakes, Omelette just never look like the favorites to get any wins in the series. But I'm hoping that NRG show us more later on in the tournament. That's a phenomenal pass. Freshness straight down the middle. Justin's had to backflip to save it. Now Lionblaze is spinning into position, and GarrettG will get a goal side of that one. Still though, Garrett's actually gone for another infield pass to Luke. That's the second time this series he's done this. Gotta be careful with these clears. Giving Omelette a couple of chances here, and Justin's running out of boost in defense.
I think Omelette would love to get at least one game on the board from this series. It's going to bounce out. Freshness unchallenged off the back, and Justin will see the ball away. Over to Garrett. Who wants it? Oh. Garrett does.
Oh my goodness. NRG have got the plays. That's such an unbelievable takeoff by GarrettG. The ball is barely airborne, and he just smashes it to the top left of the goal and continues flying with the same jump. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy from GarrettG. We've come to expect that sort of thing from him, but still, what a play by the NRG, longest standing member of the team. And I'm just still going to stay to the exact same train of thought I've had all day. Why don't NRG shoot the ball 20 times a game when their shots are absolutely world class?
We've seen just how quickly they can transition as well. We've got the Garrett goal we just saw. We've got the pass over to Squishy over on Urban. We know just how lethal they can be. Justin's going to add himself to that list.
Brilliant.
This is the NRG we want to see.
Yeah,
if they want to reclaim #1 in North America, this is the NRG we've got to see.
Yeah, they've been so decisive in this game. This is really what you would have expected the scoreline to look like if you looked at the possession statistics and if you looked at the territory statistics for the first 2 games in the series. You'd think every game would be 4-1 or something similar. You know, maybe it was just a couple of random games where NRG, just the game doesn't play properly for them. chances are, their realistic chances on net are limited. We'll have to wait and see. We'll watch more NRG this weekend, I'm sure, and we'll find out if that is a recurring trend or if it was just an anomaly. What you can still be confident of is that NRG are the dominant team in this matchup. We didn't get the mercs today from Omelette. I'm a little bit disappointed that they didn't go for that one. So yeah, it doesn't. Clearly, the triple octane's not working. They've got to try and get in NRG's heads in some way.
So it is going to be the Sonics, Nefarious, NRG, and Team Envy. All the teams moving to 2-0. Now those teams are going to have to play against each other to find out who is going through 3-0 on the day. And we have already seen in the previous regionals, Johnny, just how important that is, because seeding heading into next week, where the skill level is much closer and much tight-knit, becomes much more important.
100%. You know, NRG so far today look extremely good. But we'll find out later if they're able to go 3-0 in the series and qualify with one of those top seeds. You know, this series was basically Season 5, Season 6 Rocket League playstyle done with much better mechanics than Season 5 and Season 6 had. So interesting to see NRG play such a clean and such a tidy series with very much just focus on outplays from start to finish.
Yeah, it certainly was, and I do look forward to seeing what they are going to bring. And I'm sure you guys at home are all very interested as well. So when we come back from a short break, we are going to find out how they're going to do as we head into stage number 3.